Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 22nd day of March in the year 2024. And as is our new custom, every Friday, my dear friend Tony Mondaro joins us to talk a little bit about the weather and this week something else. So, Tony, thank you for being here as always. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, my pleasure too, Kev. How you doing today?
Hey, listen, we're a couple of days away from opening day, and that's all one can ask for. It's always a great time when baseball season is here.
Yeah, we open up against, I guess, the it's at City Field next Thursday, and we got ourselves. It looks like a designated hitter. They went out and got Martinez.
Yeah, that was a good move. An unexpected move, but I'm glad they did it nonetheless. So it should be a lot of fun. But the question is, we'll get to this in a minute. What's the weather going to be like on Thursday? But before we get there, we got this whole weekend to look at, and it's not going to be a good one tomorrow, is it?
Yeah, I think if anybody needs to do anything that is revolving around Saturday and outdoors, it's probably best to cancel now. There's a lot of outdoor plans, usually with sporting events. I think
Right.
they're washed out.
Wow.
Now, for those going to the Red Bull Arena tomorrow evening, I think the evening starts off rather sloppy. But by the end of the game, I think there's improving weather, but quite windy outside of that stadium bowl. Usually the winds will be a lot stronger outside Red Bull Arena than inside the arena as that bowl effect there. But before we get there, Kev, let's talk about current conditions. And currently in the West Hudson area, South Bergen area, we're at 40 degrees right now under a sunny sky. We have an east southeast wind at 8 to 12 miles per hour, gusting to 17. And on the home barometer, you're at 30.33 inches. The high temperature for the week was 55. This morning, 27 degrees. So will this be
27.
our 27? Will this be our last time we're below 32 for this season? We shall see. Rainfall this week so far, only 300ths of an inch. We're really going to make up for that overnight tonight. And we actually, if you were paying attention on Tuesday for those out there, we actually had a trace of snow around 9:30 in the morning. We had some snow shower activity. And for you gardeners, bad news. We had temperatures, the soil temperatures now dropped to 45 where they were up to 55 degrees. And I think probably the next week they'll start to inch back up, but it's going to be very slow as we're not seeing any real mild air coming in. It'll be temperatures in the 50s. So as for the forecast, the National Weather Service has posted for our area a flood watch that goes in effect on Saturday morning right into Sunday morning. Anyone who's out and about for this evening, I think you're fine with dry conditions. Rain develops in the overnight, though, between midnight and 3 a.m. High temperatures this afternoon will be in the 40s. Probably remain steady all night. I don't think we'll go into the 30s. And I think even the far north and west suburbs, say out north and west 287, say where your mom lives, I think this is primarily a rain event too. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did start early enough, say around the midnight hour. They might have a little bit of sleet or wet snow briefly mixed in with the start. Saturday, awful day. Periods of rain, possibly heavy at times. And if you're driving, watch out for those low-lying and poor drainage areas, especially in times of heavy rain. Probably have some ponding there. And if you're along one of the more fragile rivers, pay attention with heavy rain. You could have some flooding as well. Temperatures on Saturday remain in the 40s. Those going to Red Bull Arena, as we stated a little earlier, it rains. It ends, after say 8 o'clock, it starts to taper off. With the little front coming through at the end of that rain, it could be a clap or two or thunder. Don't be surprised at that. With temperatures tomorrow night in the 40s and temperatures near 50 Monday, Sunday, and Monday with the drier weather conditions. Still windy on Sunday though, Kev. I think we still can get winds from later on Saturday into the day Sunday between 40 and 50 miles per hour. Still no headlines for that yet.
Yeah.
And on the coastal waters, we're looking at no headlines yet for the New York Harbor area, but down the shore, we're looking at the gale watches in effect. That probably gets changed to a gale warning, and the water temperature down there right now is about 43 degrees.
When you have a day like tomorrow should be, where you have a combination of wind and heavy rain and possible accumulations that you mentioned, is it wise to drive when you're don't need to? Like what's the what is there a rule of thumb about driving when it comes to rain? Because I always wonder what to do, whether I should go out for a long trip on a rainy day like that. Now I don't want to put you on a spot, but what would Tony Mondaro do on a rainy day?
Tony Mondaro will try to do anything that I can before the witching hour on Saturday, which I consider that between 9 and 10 o'clock. I'm good to be in my Lowe's home improvement store on 17 there, knocking on their doors. They open at 6 o'clock in the morning if I need anything.
All right.
And I try to stay off the road when the traffic, when we have a lot of traffic on the road.
Yeah.
Just, common sense. Keep plenty of distance between the cars, and wear your seatbelt, pay attention, and remember, never drive through a flooded area. You see a flood, you turn around and don't drown, as the people at the National Weather Service say.
What will Tony do for his Saturday breakfast this week? Will there be any White Castle in the picture this week?
I don't think so. I think the girls, I think Elizabeth and Margaret will be probably pretty disappointed, because if this storm goes on as forecasted, we may be monitoring very closely for flooding tomorrow, and we'll have to be on our game, because especially with Red Bull Arena, as you know, we're the official weather forecasters for the county of Hudson and also the town of Harrison, Kearney,
Right.
and North Arlington. We have to really pay close attention to what's going to happen on Rogers Boulevard. I don't think it's going to be like last week or two
Hmm.
weeks ago when we had flooding there, with tidal flooding. I think that behaves itself. But remember, if you get into really some heavy rainfall, you could have a flash local flood there for a while. So we'll have to keep an eye on that tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think a lot of Red Bull fans are already disappointed because Lionel Messi will not be playing in this game on Saturday. This match, I think he was supposed to. Right? Is this the one with Miami?
I believe so, and also I
Yeah.
think they have a friendly on Sunday, so it's going
Yeah.
to be a jam packed weekend down here at Red Bull Arena.
Did you happen to see anything or hear anything about what happened last night? Because the police department sent out an alert about the potential traffic, but I didn't see or hear anything because I didn't go in that area. Were you around there at all, or?
Yeah, there was a backup on Harrison Avenue when I
Mm.
was kind of leaving around my place around 6:30. And I try to avoid the area completely unless I'm going down to Red Bull Arena. In my younger days, Kevin, as you know, I live on Davis Avenue in Harrison. I used to walk from my house to Red Bull Arena. Now, if I was attempted to do that in present day, I would probably need A, an oxygen tank, and B, a defibrillator.
And I think I would be right there with you, using it together for crying out loud. Amazing what happens when we get older. But if you're just joining us, Tony Montero's here with us today, talking a little bit about the weather. Deborah Farrell Garcia, our friend here. So good chance Route 7 and Newark Jersey City Turnpike could both flood. That's a pretty good bet, right, Tone?
Along with Fish House Road.
Fish House Road too. Unbelievable. Oh man, all these years later, I always thought that that might be something in the past, but it's still always a big issue, and I hate to see it. Now, you have a very interesting T-shirt on today, and we can't see it right now so maybe there it is. There it is. It's Starmites. So why don't you tell us a little bit about where this T-shirt comes from and why you're wearing it? Can you do that?
Absolutely, Kevin. Starmites, wonderful play being performed. The last night was the first night. They'll be there tonight again. There at Harrison High School, the Harrison High School Drama Club, and also on Saturday night. Beautiful performance, Starmites. It's centered around a cartoon, uh, a girl living within a cartoon. It's really, really, really nice. For those, including myself, who's never been to Broadway, this is on the high school level, the closest you'll ever going to get to a Broadway production. It was very, very, very good. It stars Alexa Hernandez and Trixie Rodriguez. Alexa's Eleanor Fairchild, and uh, Trixie plays two parts in this. She plays the diva and also the mom. And the cast of the Starmates and the Banshees do just a wonderful job. Um, Producer Colin Shields. Danny Conte is the musical director. Now, if Danny rings a bell, he's also the music teacher over at the Kearney High School. Um, the costumes are phenomenal. They were done up by Mrs. Shields, Mary Pat Shields, which is Colin's mom, the director of the play, and just a wonderful time. Now, if you're going to be heading out there, here's some tips and some tricks if you're going there. Tonight is family night. That means you can pay what you can afford. You got a dollar, 50 cents, 10 cents. They'll take anything.
So great.
I really think for a family experience and for the kids, uh, I stop what you're doing and cancel all plans to get over to Harrison High School. It is that good. The doors are at 7 o'clock promptly. They do have refreshments in there. There is also a time where they have an intermission. So, and there's two parts of the play. So, starts approximately around 7:30. It ends around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it's a long evening, but definitely worthwhile. The costumes, Kevin, are phenomenal. The effects are phenomenal. I really just can't say enough of great things about this play. You know, Mr. Shields has done it again. He has done it again. And you had a beautiful piece on page 5 in the Observer this week about the Starmites. Everyone, go either online or go to your local stores, grab a copy of this week's Observer, and read Kevin's wonderful article that tells you everything you want to know and more. But I'll tell you one thing: we have the picture up of the cast right now. They look nothing like that because they're all dressed in their garb, and it's really incredible. And I think if you go there, I don't rave about too many things. I think you'd be quite impressed with these kids, and also the cast and the crew did. They did a wonderful job this year, Kevin.
Do you know? I think this is probably the 20th year that I probably covered this West Hudson area. Well, it's actually much longer than that, but at least with the Observer. I have never heard anybody rave and rant about a show the way you have. I mean, I truly, it means that this has to be one of the greatest of all time. So, truly amazing, really. When you walk out of a place like that after 3.5 hours, and it was like that, right? I mean, you probably didn't even realize how long you were there.
Absolutely, and I'll be back there tonight, and I'll also be there Saturday. I love the arts. I love the play. I love music. Harrison High School does a wonderful job with their band too. And also they have a beautiful art show surrounding the concert as well in the spring. Maya Cosmos, the art teacher, does a wonderful job with all the art that you can see just before the show too in the spring concert. But and there's some stuff out there too in present day too. They have some art projects out there. So yeah, definitely, Kevin. It's definitely worth anybody's time tonight. Now tomorrow for admission for kids it's $5, and for adults it's $10. But for the entertainment value of that dollar, what they put on, and I asked Mr. Shields last night as I was leaving, congratulated him too on a job well done. He says he's already thinking about what he wants to do for next year. So how do you like that? And this all starts with them in December, and it coalesces to what they've done. These last 3 nights. And plus, they had matinees for the school during the week too, for all the rest of the Harrison schools.
Unbelievable. And you think about it, when you think about the size of the Harrison School District, too, it being what one might consider smaller than other districts, it is just remarkable what the faculty and the educators in the performing arts and the arts department pull together all the time. I think of somebody like Laura Compton, who does a lot of this on the middle school level. She's an art teacher, and she's done so many different beautiful projects. Everybody in the district is just so talented, and the kids are so so talented, and I guess they're underestimated sometimes, and it's a shame that that happens. But you have done them such a great justice today, Tony. It's really amazing to hear you describe the incredible work that they did.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you something, Kevin. I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but if it wasn't for my teachers at the Harrison Public School System, there's no Harrison Weather Center today. People like Sandra Munsko, people like uh, Diane Basso O'Connor. I had a wonderful lunch yesterday with my sixth grade science teacher, Debbie Ingenito. When I had her, she was Miss Russo. We had like a 3 hour lunch, grand reunion over there in Union. At Suspenders there. There's a little, a little restaurant there. It
Right.
was really, really nice. And this is how we reconnected on Facebook and social media. So, I think the champions of the day, besides the Starmite kids, is the wonderful program that you have here. Of course, and please, everyone, like and subscribe to this program. Also, Kevin's program on Tuesday for the breaking news. You'll always get the breaking news from this area. Kevin did a wonderful piece on the Kearney Police Department this week too, um, and like us too. Those likes go a long way as well. And from for Kevin, we really appreciate that, and he really does a great job. And hats off, Kevin, for all the good work that you do, and especially the things that we can drum up with you week after week now. It's really, really incredible to do that. And isn't it nice to report a nice news story this week?
Oh yes. Anytime there's good news, we don't get enough of that.
Right.
And I have to take a pause real quick because I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but Ashley Michelle is my adopted sister. Ashley is down in Port St. Lucie, Florida, right now, where the Mets are. And I lived with Ashley for 4 years when I lived in Florida, and she just surprised me by joining us in the chat room here. So she lives just a couple of blocks away from Clover Park, where the Mets play their spring training games, and I miss her, and she's here right now. So you'll forgive me, but I'm a little awestruck right now.
Well, Ashley said that you're awesome in there, and I would second that. And I actually would say, I think Kevin Knessa is beyond awesome.
And I say that about you all the time too, and Ashley too, because I had 4 great years down there in Port St. Lucie. It's hard to believe I've left 8 years ago. I mean, I felt like I was there for 20 years, and I've been gone for eight already. Can you imagine that, Tony? I mean, it's just amazing how fast time goes. When you get old and you're on the verge of 50, it stinks. I hate it. But,
Well, I just celebrated 60, and my lovely daughter Teresa Rose just turned 18. And it seems like just yesterday I was walking her where her little hand down Hamilton Street to Lincoln School, and now she's a freshman at Seton Hall University
my God.
studying nursing. So it's like incredible. And I wasn't never fortunate enough to go to college. So when I'm at the university there, she always says to me, "Dad, you seem to like this college more than I do." And I said, "Well, I do because I never had the experience. Because the only
Yeah.
college I went to was What's the Matter with You, and I took up time and space."
Stop. But look how it turned out. You didn't need college. You're director of the Harrison Weather Center for 40 plus years, for crying out loud. And everybody loves when you drive by in an ambulance because they know they're going to be safe when you go by. So who cares? You want to know something? I think about it. Sometimes my mother would get pissed at me if I said this, but sometimes I think, man, did I really need to do this? But considering how much she spent, I'm so grateful for that. But it is what it is. It truly is. Now, what's up for the rest of the weekend? Anything else other than you're gonna go to the show again tonight? And
Oh,
is that right?
absolutely. I'm usually the first one in the door because I get a good seat, and I'm going tomorrow night as well. But this, like I said, Kevin, to digress to the storm for a second, it's really going to be a pretty good rainmaker, and we are concerned for the flooding. So, like I said earlier in the program, I would really consider any outdoor plans. You're probably better off canceling now. You get these sports coaches and these people who think they know the weather better than the weatherman sometimes, and you try to do them a favor, and you try to warn them, hey, look, you have a chance of cancel now. And you know me, I don't use terms like that lightly. It's
No.
got to be 110% chance of rain or snow with me for me to be saying something like that. If I ever came on here and start hyping a storm or start being nervous or worried about a storm, it's time to get nervous and worried about a storm because we just don't do that. We don't buy into that here.
Yes, I always would think of it like, do any of you remember the last time Tony warned you to go out and buy eggs, milk, and bread? The answer is no, you don't, because that would never ever happen unless it was an absolute dire emergency. There's never any panic, so it's remarkable. Great stuff, always, Tony. Today, every day. I hope you enjoy the show tomorrow, and thank you for everything. You want to take us out?
Absolutely. Folks, for Kevin Knessa, this is Tony Mondaro at the Observer Live. Have a great weekend and thank you for tuning in.
Okay, we'll see you all next week. Love you, Ashley. Talk to you later. Bye bye.